Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're going to be going over all the things that I love and the things that I don't exactly like about the new 2022 Infiniti QX55, and then we're going to wrap things up with whether or not you should look into purchasing one of these. With all that being said, let's get straight into the video. Now let's start things off with the design on the front end, just like always. So first off, I love the look of the hood, super aggressive with the lines that come down there on either side. And then the headlights as well. I love the accent lighting, and then how you have all of those LED lights in the center. It looks really cool when you look at it up close. And then coming down below, I love the accent here around the fog light housing. I think that looks great. The parking sensors, they actually did a really good job of integrating them. And then how they integrated the logo and the sensor for the front end. I think that's just obviously smart engineering, but it makes it so that the front end looks a whole lot cleaner. And I actually like this little part right there, which just kind of like randomly comes up. But yeah, I think that Infiniti absolutely nailed it from design perspective from the front end. Looks like previous Infinitis from the front end perspective, but I mean, that's not a bad thing. They're really good looking cars, especially in this paint color. But anyways, coming here to the side, the wheels. This is pretty interesting. So when you look at the wheels up close, they honestly don't look all that great. It looks kind of funny in a way, but when you actually take a step back and you look at the overall facade of the car, then you can go, oh, it actually makes sense. Like, it looks really cool with the kind of floating design. And so up close, the wheels don't look great, but when you take a step back, they actually look really nice. Something that I'm kind of, I guess, not really a fan of is, I don't know why, this is, I mean, it's just a random accent piece. And then this is interesting. I don't know how to feel about this yet. How the hood like folds over that panel. I don't know how to feel about it. Like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. And then with the mirrors being blacked out, I think that's nice. I wish that this trim piece right here is blacked out because it's blacked out here on the top, and so I think that would only make sense. And then also with the door handles. Now I'll actually pop over here to the rear. Now the rear is kind of interesting, kind of reminds me of like BMW X5, X6 in terms of like what they did here, because they made this portion flat. But absolutely love the design on the taillights. They're so cool here with the LEDs. Super unique looking, just absolutely fantastic. No complaints there. And then here's the key fob. Some of you guys, for some reason the camera doesn't want to focus. There we go. Some of you guys may or may not like it. It's got remote start on it and all that fun stuff. So pretty cool with that. Pretty normal key fob though. Popping here into the trunk area, tons of storage space. So this is another huge plus, is there's just lots of space back here. It feels really big. And then you got extra storage underneath there. And then you have these that throw down the seat. So I guess that's a nice little feature. But yeah, I think cargo space, pretty good. And then I like how you can lock the car here from the rear. So like if you're doing groceries or something like that, then you can quickly lock it instead of having to pull the key out of your pocket. So I guess that's another nice thing. I think they integrated the exhaust tip coverings pretty nice with the overall design, and then the parking sensors in the mirror. So I think it's a pretty good looking vehicle from a rear perspective. Now, coming here to the interior, this is where things get really nice actually. So they've done tons of really nice leather all over the door panel, and then really nice wood trim, and then you've got the metallic accenting right there as well. And then I love the look of the Bose speakers. And then you actually get automatic windows for the rear passengers, which is nice. And then the seats are really nice too. So you can see you've got these full, like, well, not full, but like half red, half black, I guess, with the seats. Nice perforations there in the center. They're very comfortable. And then I guess something that I would say is space back here is actually pretty good. So that seat is normal. This car has memory seats, so the seat's farther back. But space back here is pretty decent. And then it's cool that you actually have that little climate thing that you can control here for the rear passengers. Usually don't get something like that in an SUV of this size, so size rather. So I think that's good. And then, I mean, that's pretty normal. I think that's great. But yeah, overall, I think the backseat area looks really nice and it's comfortable as well. I guess the only downside is I'm 6 foot and I'm like pretty much right on the edge. Like if I was just an inch or two taller, I don't think I'd fit back here. So it is what it is. But anyways, coming to the front here. Door panel again in the front, I think looks fantastic from a design perspective, and then tons of really nice materials. And you guys can see we've got the memory seats, all that fun stuff. And then I love the look of the front seats. They're very comfortable as well. So that's another plus. And we'll kind of pop in. I always want to go there because most stop start buttons are there, but this one's down here. Anyways, steering wheel. This is something that I'm kind of, I don't know, in the middle with. So it does have leather around it, but it's not as nice as like the leather here. Like this leather you guys can see is really soft, and then this has like rougher leather, which gives you a better grip. I guess that's a plus, but it just doesn't feel as nice. So I don't know. It is what it is. I guess that we have a flash flood warning, and it's gonna keep. Okay. Anyways, other than that lady being annoying, The adaptive cruise control works great. It has the steering assistance. Okay, we get it, lady. Anyways, again, adaptive cruise control works great. All the safety tech works great, so that's a huge plus. And then I think the gauge cluster looks pretty nice here in the center. It's nice, it's modern, relatively easy to use. If you're wondering, the steering assist is over there because I actually use that quite a bit on the interstate. And then aside from that, this screen system, I'm not sure exactly how to feel about it, because again, that's not a touchscreen. This down here is a touchscreen. You've got the two different screens. That's kind of like for the navigation, and it also is for the camera, which the camera system on this, by the way, top notch. The resolution isn't the highest, but I don't really care about super high resolution, because as long as I can see what I need to see, then that's all I care about. And also the fact that it doesn't do a front camera to go into drive. I guess that is a little bit of a negative, but if you do want to do something like that, then there is a camera button that you can press, and then that'll give you a front camera. So, I mean, I don't know, not too upset about it. So, I mean, yeah, is what it is. Anyways, infotainment system works great. Sound system, by the way, fantastic. Sounds amazing. Really nice sound quality. Decent amount of storage space. Now, something that I haven't been able to find is a wireless phone charger. I mean, I've looked everywhere, and, you know, let me know if I'm just stupid and I'm not looking in the right place, but I mean, I don't see a wireless phone charger anywhere, so yeah. And then with the shifter itself, I think this is pretty interesting. It's easy to use, though, to be honest, so no complaints there. Drive mode's great. And then this whole thing for that top screen, I don't know, pretty cool. And then with the glove box, nice amount of storage. I've actually really liked that, because some glove boxes and SUVs this size don't have any storage. I like this right here, how it all connects in a line design-wise. And again, just really nice materials all over. I think that is great. And then last thing, in the interior here, we do have a sunroof, but it's not a panoramic. I think they should have a panoramic in this, considering it's a luxury car, so I guess that's a little bit of a downside. And we of course have to talk about the powertrain. So let's pop the hood and, well, let's talk about this. So power figures are great with the powertrain. I can't find the latch for some reason. There we go. So power figures are great with the powertrain. The only issue is the fact that it's paired to a CVT. Now, I will say this is the most responsive CVT I have ever driven in my life. For a CVT automatic, it is perfection. But a great CVT will still not be as good as a regular torque converter automatic transmission. I think they should have put the 9-speed automatic that they have in this. I think that would just kind of make this feel a lot better. But again, as a CVT automatic, it is the best in the car industry. Like, there is nothing that is as good as this. But the engine itself, no complaints there. So I think that the engine's great. It's just that, well, it's got a CVT, and I don't know. I think that's a little bit ridiculous. I mean, especially considering that this thing is $60,000, I think they should have put a regular automatic transmission and not a CVT in it. Now let's get into whether or not you should look into purchasing the QX55. So first off, if you want something that looks a little bit different stylistically, definitely has that going for it. It's super unique, has a good amount of road presence. Really great with the interior, like I said, tons of safety technology. It's easy to use as well. Driving experience is actually pretty good. You guys saw my review. It's a pretty fun vehicle to drive. The only downside is the CVT. Even though it's the most responsive CVT I've ever driven, it's still a CVT, right? And so, I mean, that is a little bit of a downside, but I think that this was kind of meant to compete against the Lexus NX, sort of, in a way, and that one has a CVT with the hybrid, and so I don't know, I understand why they use the CVT in it, and so, yeah, I get it, but at the same time, I just wish that they didn't. And so, other than that, I think it's a great SUV. If you're looking for a luxury SUV that's a little bit different, then I would definitely check one of these out. Now let's get sum things up for our video here on the 2022 Infiniti QX55. Again, the things that I like, the things that I don't exactly like, and then my overall thoughts on whether or not you should purchase one. With all that being said, I'll see all of you in the next video.